When Americans think about terrorism in places like Pakistan, they tend to focus on RPGs and suicide bombs, as at the Marriott Hotel in Islamabad this year. But for Pakistani women, one of the most frightening forms of terrorism isn't bombs. It's acid attacks, often by their own husbands.
You see, look at Naima. She has lost her eyes. Naima, can you please show us your face, my dear? She makes me cry every time she comes in front of me. Can we imagine a human being like that? She was a pretty woman, a presentable human being.
Yeah.
4 years ago, Naima Azhar was a successful real estate agent. She was making a decent salary. And then she decided to divorce her deadbeat husband, whom she was only with in the first place due to an arranged marriage.
Look what he's done to me. It has been 5 years since I've seen the faces of my children, since I lost my eyes.
The husband was an idiot. He used to just sell fruits on the roadside and never used to bring money to the house.
Naima received custody of their 3 children in exchange for a large payment to her husband. He asked to come over one last evening to say goodbye to the children. While Naima lay dozing, her husband came in with a bottle of acid. He poured it all over her.
The flesh of my cheeks was falling off, and the bones of my face were showing, and all of my skin was falling off.
After the attack, Naima's husband fled. Neighbors heard her screams and came running. Smoke was rising from her burning flesh, and she was running about blindly, crashing into walls. She underwent reconstructive surgery, but Naima remains blind and disfigured.
All of the skin you see on my face now, that is from my legs.
Since the attack, Naima has survived on the charity of friends, as well as help from women's rights activist Shahnaz Bukhari. Shahnaz is trying to raise money for a surgery to restore Naima's eyesight, as well as to prosecute Naima's husband.
Thank you.
He was never arrested by the police.
We need to get a very strong lawyer for her to fight her case and get the bastard paid lawyers. We can get hold of them and see that he should be brought to the gallows.
Whatever happens to Naima, she's far from alone. Across a swath of Asia, acid attacks have become a weapon of choice for angry husbands, spurned suitors, and anyone else seeking to destroy young women.
My organization, per se, was the one who started highlighting these cases of violence.
Shahnaz Bukhari's Progressive Women's Association has documented more than 7,000 deliberate burnings of women in just 2 Pakistani cities since 1994. In some cases, women were set on fire. In others, acid was thrown at them. Only 2% of those cases were successfully prosecuted.
This message is as good as saying, okay, hang all the 50% population of this country, all the women. They do not deserve to be living. We can bring donkeys instead of them.
One way America could help would be for Congress to pass the International Violence Against Women Act, which Senators Biden and Lugar have co-sponsored. It shines a spotlight on this kind of brutality and nudges governments to act. For until the region's governments get serious about prosecuting attackers, the terror will continue to spread.
In the house we used to live in, there was a man who lived upstairs who used to beat his wife. And my dad used to say, "Look, see how that man burned his wife? I will burn you in the same way."
In Pakistan, for the New York Times, I'm Nicholas Kristof.